What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Token Drew, and we're here with an edition of Drew's Reviews. This is the series where I'm going to sit here and I'm going to review shit, and I'm most likely going to smoke while I do it. And first up is Pacific Rim 2, aka Pacific Rim Uprising. So, I just got back from seeing the movie. Alright. Went with the family, my fiance and our 2 kids. And the short and sweet of it is I thought it was alright. I thought the first one was better. Overall. The one thing that this one did better than the first one is it had better pacing. Alright. So that's the first minute, my review in 1 minute. So I'm not going to hit you with the spoiler warning. So let's go spoilers. Alright. So let's talk about this motherfucker. So this movie takes place 10 years after the first one. It follows John Boyega's character, Jake. But I might call him Finn a couple times because that's how I know him. He's homie from Star Wars. It also follows Amari, Mayuri, whatever. It's this little chick who he encounters in the beginning. So the beginning of the movie sets up the fact that there are, like I said previously, there's been a 10-year gap since the last movie. The kaiju have not appeared, but people are going on with their lives. You know, people are partying in the bones of kaiju. Some cities have rebuilt, some cities have not. This movie explains a lot of shit from the last one, almost to an annoying degree, and it was getting on my nerves hearing it over and over and over again, you know. But we'll get to that later. So Finn turns out to be somebody who is stealing parts from Jaeger scrapyards for money. And somehow there's a piece he's looking for, and it turns out that somebody stole it from where he was trying to get it from. So he chases to find this person, and he ends up at young Amara's hideout. And it turns out she's building her own Jaeger, but it's a little Jaeger. And you can tell that they're trying to make this like the Bumblebee of the series, you know, the cutesy small marketing one that kids are going to like, the one that they can make be funny and get into weird scenarios and shit like that. But eventually they get busted because the cops are nearing on them for reasons, and they get busted, ended up in jail. Only way they can get out of jail is if they enlist with the, Jaeger Academy. It turns out that Finn is the son of Idris Elba's character from the first one that they never mentioned. You know, 'cause, I mean, why would you just adopt a little girl if you have a son? Alright, whatever. But, so he has this name, so Jake/Finn has this name to live up to. And he's finding it real difficult to do this shit. So he's also like kind of, you know, the typical angsty, you know, I don't want to be my dad, I want to be my own person, I'm not my father type shit. And then you got Amara, who's now his partner in crime, his little sidekick, who, you know, is this girl with no parents who can fix anything and somehow was able to make up her own Jaeger that she can pilot by herself because it's so small. She's very similar to Rey from the new Star Wars movie. She's just a MacGuffin now. She's the fucking Mary Sue is what they call them. You know, but we follow. Sorry, my fucking cat be coming over here making noise. I have to do this shit again because this little asshole was making noise. Anyway, so these guys go into the academy and they meet all the typical stereotypical ass characters, but they're all teenagers. And this movie has a very anime feel. Um, I should have mentioned this earlier, but it's not directed by Guillermo del Toro. It is produced by him, and you just don't have that style. Like that first one had such swagger to it. It came out the fence so confident in itself. This one's like a big ass cartoon, which I get it. It's CG, it's kaiju, and don't sit here and think for a minute that I'm not a kaiju fan. Like I can seriously turn this camera around and you can see my Godzilla collection, or I can roll my sleeve up and you can see my Godzilla tattoo. Like I'm a fan of that medium, you know. But this one seemed too cartoony. And the way I'm looking at it is either you're gonna be a cartoon or you're not. If you're gonna be a animated ass movie, then fucking be a bit more animated. Stop trying to be so realistic. But if you're gonna be all super CG and if you're gonna do like that, but if you're gonna fucking try to be a realistic movie, then try to make it look more realistic. And all of these set pieces taking place in the daylight definitely made it look super cartoony. Story was nothing to write home about. You can look through the trailers. They reveal in the trailers that one of them is somehow working with the kaiju. And I don't want to really give away who, because it wasn't who I thought it was. They do a good misdirect. You think it's one character, and you're like, oh, you bitch. Another subplot is drones. The fact that this company's coming through with these kaiju drones, not kaiju, Jaeger drones, and you see that, and the first thing you think is, man, these motherfuckers are gonna get hacked, and that's exactly what happened. It kind of reminded me of Iron Man 3, even though his tech didn't really get hacked, but or Age of Ultron. I've seen it. Nothing special. Then you got when that subplot goes away, and then it kind of gets like easily rectified when the obvious happens, and then the next plot happens, and it feels kind of, the peril feels kind of dumb. It feels like they haphazardly threw it together, involving this rocket fuel using the blood of a kaiju and rare elements on Earth to make this explosive fuel. Well, the kaiju, when they inevitably come back, they want to go to Mount Fuji, where it has all these rare elements, in order to make it explode and blow the Earth up, or terraform it, in order for the alien species to come. And now, speaking of these alien species, so these things are the predecessors. That's what they're calling them. And they hint on them in the first one. And they're those guys who are kind of like half slender, typical alien, kind of with the triangular shaped Independence Day alien collector from Mass Effect looking. That's what these things are. And they send these kaiju. And I mean, so many things that happen in the movie are hella predictable, but maybe it's just predictable to me, because I've been watching this shit since I was a kid. So I can kind of, I know the alien subplot. I know when, shit happens. You know what I mean? It feels like you're watching an anime, even down to the dark kaiju or the rogue, the dark Jaeger or the rogue Jaegers. Or Jaeger that pops up, you've seen it, you know what I mean? Like, it's darker colors. He uses 2 swords instead of 1. Oh my god, it's so edgy. Check it out. But it didn't have any good, powerful moments like the first one. Like in the first one, when Riley was able to pilot his mech by himself. That was awesome. The threat of that level, like, those level 3s coming up, and then the level 4 coming up, and you're like, oh shit, Are we gonna see level 5 in this movie? And that level 5 pops up at the end of the movie. You know, this one kind of takes all that and multiplies it, but it just feels kind of like a case of sequelitis. You know what I'm saying? They're setting up for a third one. I don't think this one is going to do well financially, not here in the States, maybe over in Asia, maybe it'll be greenlit. I'll be there to watch it, but, you know, the first one definitely had that style. This one is flashy, it's very loud, and I'm not saying that like a grandpa, I'm just saying that like, you know, bright colors and bright things that happen, and like they call out the special moves, like activate laser whip and activate plasma cannon, like it's seriously an anime. It makes you want to watch Gundam. You know, so I think that shit's pretty cool. And I would definitely suggest people to go see it. You know, but I mean, I saw it today on discount day. I didn't want to spend full price on it. Still gonna buy it when it comes out. It's not bad. Good popcorn flick. Decent 7 out of 10. I feel like that's a fair score. You know what I'm saying? So. Pacific Rim Uprising. It's like kids saving the world again. Whatever. Oh no, it's the inept adults looking face. So, I'm your boy Token Drew. This has been the first edition of Drew's Reviews. So, you know, like I like to say, smoke out, game on, and live up. I'm gonna catch you later. Stopping heavy on the track with my flow ain't an elephant. It's the remnant of a dynasty of presidents and leaders of hip hop. Real niggas, real blocks paved the way.